Well, hey guys, what is going on out there today? It is Brent Abel here at webtennis.com. I hope you're having a spectacular day so far, wherever you are, back in the California desert. Got back here last night after spending the weekend up with my three lovely daughters up in Northern California. Good time with them, as always. Anyway, good to be back here in the desert. And what I've got for you today is I want to talk about making better visual contact with the tennis ball, right? The old classic thing, watch the ball. Well, let's dig a little bit. Let's still do a little bit deeper dive on that. And so I've got a video I want to show you on that. But first, before we get into that, a couple of announcements. Number one, as always, I've got a free course for you. It's a 20-minute top spin second serve course. If you're top spin serve, way too many double faults, you're throwing in there, but it's just sitting up for that returner. It could be singles, could be doubles, but just sitting up and letting them take advantage of the point from the start. Then I want to help you get some more natural swing speed, right? And whether you're like an older dude like me, or you've had some shoulder problems, elbow problems, I still think that I can help you get a little bit more racket speed, so that you get a little bit more power, but you get a higher quality spin, and that higher quality spin really gets a nice bounce out of that box over there, right? So that returner does not get the advantage from the start. You can pick up that course. It is free. It's on me. Down below in the description area, it's webtennis.com. Hey guys, look, if you are new to the YouTube channel, welcome. And look, if you are really working on your game, trying to get to the next level, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you get notified every time I go live. I typically go live in the mornings around 7 a.m. Pacific, but also there are other videos that I upload as well, so that you'll get notified whenever that happens. And look, if you're into what we're going to talk about today, right, which is making better visual contact with the tennis ball. I mean, this is kind of a unique thing with tennis, right? We got a moving tennis ball, and we're also on the move. Right. Well, if that's the case, if you're into this stuff, then go ahead and hit the like and the share, depending on where you are over at YouTube or Facebook. Would appreciate that. And then finally, look, guys, if you want to know what my fitness program is in terms of better quickness, in terms of better visual contact with the ball, and in terms also of endurance, let me know. I put together a little program for you, a little PDF that I'm happy to share with you. All you got to do is just shoot me an email, Brent@webtennis.com, and I will get that over to you. So guys, let's talk about today's topic, which is, the old thing about watching the tennis ball, right? Well, let me kind of give you a dose of reality. For me is, and we've got the great Glenn Busby. I think you guys have been with me recently, have seen this point. But what I want to talk about is I think as we get older, or even if you're younger and you're not thinking about this reality, I think too often what's been coached is that, so for example, you get your serve in, and what are you even told? It never worked for me. Maybe it's worked for you, but it's never worked for me. And that is to try to read the guy's racket. Let's see what that opponent's doing with their racket, so that you have an idea of what is going to happen with the ball coming to you. And you know what? For me, I do that out of my peripheral. But as I've gotten older, I'll tell you what's happened is I don't pick the ball up as quickly off this opponent's racket as I used to. And I understand, I can tell the direction, whether it's going to be a backhand or forehand, but it's more going to be the depth. And so what I've always having to do now is I got to make sure that whatever shot I hit back, play the shot, don't peek, right? P-E-E-K. We don't want to be prematurely looking out at the landscape to see what our shot's done and where our opponent is. So I like to right about here, make sure I keep my eyes at contact, maybe artificially for a nanosecond, and then I start to pick up the ball now. I do not look directly at my opponent. I don't want to lose contact with the ball. And when I do that, yeah, I can get out of my peripheral vision an idea of what my opponent's about to do. But if I wait too long, if I wait around here to start to pick up the ball, I don't pick it up as quickly as if I start to really lock into it, right about now. Really lock on the ball and let your peripheral kind of help you out in terms of anticipation. And when I do that, what happens is I pick this ball up a lot quicker in terms of, obviously we all know directions, either before and the backhand, but in terms of depth and what kind of bounce am I going to be dealing with. So here's what I want you to try next time you're out in the court here's what I think is the cycle of a shot, right? Is it starts here at contact, right? This is where it starts. And I try to keep my head down, and right here, looking at the ball, I actually lose sight of it until right about now. And I'm looking at the ball, making sure that my peripheral is helping me out with what kind of shot is coming. In terms of depth, I'm watching. And so really what happens here is there's a moment right about at contact, boom. This is when I lose the ball. I lose track of the ball for about, a quarter of that cycle, right? And a quarter of that cycle is, a whole shot cycle is ball goes back to your opponent and then it comes back to you. That's one shot cycle. And for about 20% of it, I don't see the ball, right? Which is off of my racket. So I want to pick it up. As soon as that ball is crossing the net, I want to make sure that I'm picking up the ball and not just the entire landscape, but really laser beaming, eagle-eyeing the ball. So I can pick up the depth right here, right? So look, I hope that makes sense. If nothing else, get out there next time and try it and see if it doesn't work for you, right? See if that won't help you pick up the ball a little bit sooner. And so there you have it. Let me go back to right here. So look, I'd love to get your comments, your feedback, your questions on this down below in the comments area. Let me know whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. Let me know what you think. And look, come back whenever if you got in play today, try this and just try the warm up, right? And see if you're not picking up the tennis ball off your opponent's racket sooner by really eagle-eyeing, by locking visually on just the tennis ball, at least by the time it bounces over there before they make contact. And let's see if you're not picking up their shot a little bit quicker. And look, the faster you can determine what kind of incoming ball you've got from that opponent, right? Faster that you can decide what kind of shot you want to play, right? Could be a slice, could be a topper, could be a dropper, could be a whole host of different shots. But if you're not visually picking up the incoming tennis ball until too late, well, then you're going through this whole laundry list of being indecisive about what shot do you want to play. And if you're indecisive about the shot you're going to play, then the next part of it, which is, well, where do you want to move to next on the court, right? Which is our entire premise of the what's the right shot series, right? Where do you want the ball to land over there? And then where do you want to move to next on the court? How do you want to enhance the quality of the shot choice that you made by your next best court position? Well, we got to get back to square one, which is being able to decide shot choice as soon as possible, so that your spacing is prepped earlier, your racket's prepped earlier. Mentally, you're committed to that shot sooner than later. And look, I know when I'm playing my best, there's no shot choice. I just simply whatever's the first one. And I guess by definition, choice means that you've got at least two things. You got something you could choose. Well, for me, whatever my instinctive initial shot choice is, I go with it. And even if I've got, a lot of extra time, which is sometimes a problem if we have too much time, right? We start considering way too many shots. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Hope that makes sense. Guys, Monday morning today, let's get out there and figure out what you want to do this week, right? Which pillar, which thing of the game out of the five, right? We've got technique. What can you do to minimize technique? right? So you become more of a consistent shot maker. Number two, tactics. What are you working on? Maybe you're working on a little transitional stuff in doubles. Maybe you're working on serve and volley. Maybe you're working on serve and stay forward as opposed to serve and stay back. And serve and stay forward, again, is not serve and volley, but it's serving and ending up inside the baseline for that return. Maybe you're working on the mental part, right? It could be physical, fitness. And again, if you want my specific tennis-specific fitness program, let me know. Brent@webtennis.com. Happy to get it over to you. And then the fifth thing, of course, is experiences. How often can you get out there to figure out what are the specific areas of your game that you need to work on? I mean, look, we can work on 1,000,001 different things intellectually, but until you're on the court and actually playing some points, playing some games, some sets, some matches, you're not going to really know what are those things that you need to work on. Someone can tell you, hey, man, you need to have more top on that backhand. Why? Why? It could be that you're a Larry Turville that rarely ever topped a backhand, but could knife you to death with a slice backhand. I mean, here's a guy who was number one in the world in his age group, rarely hit a top or backhand. So it could be that maybe on your passing shots, maybe that's the one time you need to start to kind of come over the ball a little bit. But does that need to be your staple backhand? Maybe not. I don't know. The way you're going to discover that is getting out in the court and playing some matches. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Again, would love to know what's on your mind from today's topic. And as I said before, look, come back in a few days after you've had a day or two to work on what we talked about today, and drop a comment in there. If you want to direct message me over at Facebook, you can do that, or you can always shoot me an email, Brent@webtennis.com. Guys, it is time. Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, we'll do this.